I will say there was that moment where I do think showing up after you feel like something didn't go as well for you is pretty tricky.
That's hard work.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. What's been going on?
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. I think we both had pretty full weeks. We didn't connect too much during the week.
I know. I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah, to see kind of what happened.
Yeah.
I know I was busy doing work and things like that.
Same here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the Brewers throughout the week, and unfortunately, maybe
Haven't been doing well the last couple games, but
and then I've been working on my morning routine, so that's been a really big piece of my week of trying to be present for myself for my morning routine and making sure I'm planning the food that I'm going to eat and making food at home and stuff like that. So
using the time for yourself.
Yeah,
not
using the
for
time
work,
for myself.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been not going to bed early, even though that was my intention.
Right.
I did maybe twice this week.
Okay.
But I've been staying up a little later than even I usually would because I've been working on a new project with a friend of mine.
Okay.
I got a new podcast.
Yep.
That just went out called Free for All with Jay and Keith. So I'll link that up in the description. But anyway, so I've been in the flow and being creative and like designing things and editing that. And so been kind of going strong on that. But I took some time out to like watch the Brewers games with the kids and, do stuff, that I have to get done. But I kind of missed the mark a little bit on the one thing that we talked about last time.
Oh, missed the mark on the sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 nights, you said.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's out of 5, but 2 is more than none.
The thing too is like I'm not sacrificing my amount of sleep. It's just a wacky shift of waking up late and kind of feels like, oh, whoa, I overslept kind of thing. But it's like, no, I got 6 hours of sleep.
Right.
Which is kind of typical for me. But anyway.
Yeah, even last night, I could tell it was your habit because I got home, we were watching the Mariners game, which went into
15 innings.
Oh yeah, 15 innings, which was huge.
Yeah.
But
you stayed up.
Yeah, I stayed up watching it because I was interested. I wanted to know who won.
Yeah.
Because my sister and her family are in Seattle.
Yeah.
And so it's a little interesting to know and cheer for their home team.
We've seen them. We went to a game out there and it's fun. Like I always like cheering for a team that we've seen before. So like the Florida Panthers for hockey. Like I'll kind of root for them every now and then because we've been to a game, or like, was it another baseball, San Francisco, the Giants?
Oh, right. Yeah, right? I remember doing that.
So it's I don't know. It's fun going to the different parks every now and then. But yeah, so we're rooting for them. And they won.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think I ended up playing you some of Taylor Swift's new songs that I really like.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then you were playing me some Metallica ones.
Yeah, well, I had to balance it out.
You did. And I got to a point where I think I was too tired to even ask you to turn it off and like turn the lights off. But I just wilted, I think.
Not really. No, you're just like, I should go to bed. I'm like, yeah, you should.
I'm like, it is 1:30 something.
I wasn't like forcing you to listen to music.
No, you weren't, but we were just kind of sitting there.
Hanging out.
I think I put a grocery order in,
Yeah.
Adulting things.
Yeah, but it was just way past your bedtime.
Way past my bedtime.
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah.
But I think we were really excited to see each other.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have like a video call this last week. Or I don't even know if we talked on the phone.
I don't think we did. We did lots of texting.
Yeah, lots of texting.
I mean, we always text and send each other videos, reels, stuff like that. But it was nice to reconnect a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have been thinking a little bit this week around Brewers baseball, obviously.
Yeah. Nice shirt.
Thank you. Go Brewers. But I have been thinking about the Brewers a lot because baseball, it seems like, is a really long season.
It is long.
It is long, right?
Yes.
And I don't watch every single game, but I grew up a Brewers fan, so I'm always cheering for them, even if I'm not following really closely or watching every game. But throughout the year, it seems like they have just been crushing it in their season. I mean, Child One.
Yeah, they're number one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Child One and my dad have been following it like nobody's business. I mean, my dad watches it whenever he possibly can, right?
Yeah.
And Child One has started doing that too.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, actually. But it got me thinking, they've been practicing and showing up and, putting that pearl in the string and being successful and doing all the things. And now it comes to the end of their season. And tonight is game 5.
Is it?
It's game 5.
Oh my. Okay.
And so whoever wins tonight
Yep.
is going to go to the National League Championships, right?
I think so.
And it got me thinking a little bit, is that so often things that we're doing in our own life are very similar to that, where you show up, you have successes, and you are crushing it day after day, in a fairly consistent way. And you get to the end and it just starts feeling more high stakes. And it feels a little bit more nail biting, a little more stressful.
Yeah.
And I was thinking a little bit about, you and I have been showing up with our podcast for
2 years.
2 years,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a whole episode where we talked about 2-year anniversary of the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. We did. That's right. We did.
Yeah.
So 2 years, and we have been showing up and doing it. And sometimes we have like really great ideas of how we're going to go. Other times we show up and we don't quite know what we're going to talk about or where it's going to go, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Other times we've shown up and, we've kind of...
We're like, let's just wing it.
And then it doesn't go well.
Then, oh my God, we're going to have to re-record.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we're going to have to turn off the microphones, give each other a long hug.
Yeah.
And just be like, it's all right. We'll get them next time.
There you go, being dramatic again.
What do you mean?
Give each other a long hug after turning off the microphones. What's that about?
No, like sometimes there's been a couple times where we've recorded an episode and gotten maybe like 3/4 of the way through, and one of us just is like, no, this is not.
Yeah.
We're done. This is not going to be.
We tried to force it.
Yeah.
We should have known better, and we were trying to record when we weren't ready. You're falling asleep. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just pause.
Yeah. And so that's where at the end of that, instead of us, walking out and being mad and frustrated, what I meant is that we can still support each other.
Yes.
When we're like, okay, we need to say, okay, enough. Yeah. We're just going to cut right now.
Yeah.
But we've tried to be supportive of each other when that happens. So it's kind of you win quite a few, you lose a couple, but when it gets to the point where something changes and it feels more high stakes, the dynamics shift a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this week, I know you sent me a text of, okay, here's the thumbnail, and our podcast is going to go out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we put out a long form
video. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, cool. And last time I thought, okay, I'm going to, actually put on makeup. I'm not going to just sit in a chair, lounge back and have my hair in a top knot and, some random sweatshirt. I'm actually going to put on clothes that I feel good in and do my makeup and maybe brush my hair or stuff like that. And you sent it to me and I looked at the YouTube video and at first I'm like, oh, I don't like that at all.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, and I went, and I kept scrolling like 5 minutes in, 10 minutes, 20. Like, it doesn't get any better.
Oh, no.
Like, it doesn't get any better. I have no energy. I felt so flat. I just felt, I don't know. I feel like I probably felt like the Brewers felt the last couple games.
Just didn't work out.
Just didn't quite happen the way I thought it
That's
might
not how I
happen.
thought that was going to go.
No, I know. And I thought, gosh darn it. Because I want to be able to do that. I enjoy watching people
Hmm.
on video,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'd enjoy somebody that just is kind of like, "Meh," you know?
I didn't think it was that bad.
I know. I love you so much for loving me so much.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll have to I'll have to go back to it and have a look, cuz like I was editing it, so I was like really in it and focusing maybe on some details, and I maybe
Right.
wasn't able to like sit back and look at it. And I mean, I know it's not like an amazing production, you know, and so I'm not like delusional about that, but like you're being hard on yourself and the way that you're perceiving how you showed up
Right.
pretty hard. And I don't think
Yeah.
that's not necessary. Um because it feels like high stakes. It doesn't necessarily mean it is as high of stakes as it feels.
Right.
You know, like we went from never recording podcast to recording a podcast almost every week. There's a
True.
few exceptions in there where we did some re-releases to give us some breathing room, like for holidays or when we've been sick. And we've been talking a lot about wanting to do video.
Yeah.
And so after getting lots of reps of recording audio, we're like, okay, it's time, like we need to figure this out. We've been talking and talking, but now it's time to actually do the thing that we said we want to do. Let's record. And
Right.
I'm sure I know it's not perfect, but I don't think the way you showed up is the reason it's not, or any part of it not being as good as I want it to be. It's
Yeah.
because I only have so many skills for editing, and I probably didn't set the cameras up quite right, and there's so many things. But like we went from 0 to 1, and
Right.
that's the hardest, I think. Because like I did it again this week with the other podcast. Like I had recorded the other podcast, and I thought it was done, and I just needed to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to set up all the infrastructure.
Right.
And then I went back and I was like, okay, let me just double check the file. And I was like, oh, I missed some things. So I had to like edit it like 2 more times and export. And it was a big file. It was like 20 gigs so it took like 2 hours to render this file.
Mm.
And then I would get it and I would look, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this. And so I'd have to do it again. And so getting from releasing a brand new podcast and that was video too,
Right.
and releasing ours on video, it like I think I texted you this, but I'm like, I have a weird like head rush feeling after getting them both out. And it
Yeah.
was just kind of like I was just kind of like buzzing a little bit and just like full, and I'm like, okay, I probably need some water and to stop drinking coffee.
Yes.
Like
I think
I was drinking
those are probably both
I was drinking
things
like
you
10
should do.
cup pots of coffee every day, and I usually
Oh,
do like 6 cups. You know, because
yeah.
like a cup of coffee isn't a cup. Like a cup of coffee for me is like 2.5 cups of
Mm.
like by volume, kind of thing. So
Yes.
anyway, I'm rambling about this because this is really interesting. That I think the reason I was feeling the way I was feeling was because it did feel high stakes. It was at the end of the finish line where I was going to press publish on the new one. Like I didn't have the same thoughts about our, in residence. I'm like, this will get better. Like, but we
Hmm.
got one out. This is great. The other one, it was a collaboration with somebody that I haven't collaborated with in quite a long time.
Right.
And I was kind of taking the lead on the creative stuff of the editing and the getting it ready. And
Hmm.
so I was definitely feeling the pressure of I want this to do well. But just like a sports game, especially at the professional level, but I want like our kids to know when it comes to like any game, like it's not fun to lose, but it's not the worst thing. It's just part of life. Like, I've been learning how to embrace failure, right? So I want it to not be so hard, like when the kids do it, right? Because I've been in spots where it's like, or like even watching sports teams, right?
Mhm.
I don't want it to, I've said it before on here, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to say it again. I do not want to watch the Packers or the Brewers or any sports team that I'm cheering for. And I don't want my mood to be affected so negatively when they lose.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've said before, and I've heard, I heard it from somewhere. It's like, you don't want to get too high and you don't want to get too low. It's like, so I don't want to celebrate the wins too much either. And like, you see people going out and like partying and like basically ruining their city when their team wins, like a really big championship or something. It's just like, it's a little too much.
Right.
Like, where do you find that balance?
Yeah. I think it is good to find the balance. I know you said that one of the hardest pieces was to show up and do the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder though if it's even more difficult to show up and do the second one after you feel like the first one wasn't
For you, I think,
what you hoped.
yeah, that there's something there. Yeah, you were feeling it. I didn't realize it because we didn't talk much this week.
No,
Once
well, and
you got home and you told me, I was like, oh no. I'm like, no, it
I
wasn't
sat there and I was like, well, do I message him? I'm like, it's already out in the world and it needs to be in the world.
Yeah.
And I think it'll just keep getting better and I'll keep getting more used to it.
Yeah.
But I will say there was that moment where I do think showing up after you feel like something didn't go as well for you is pretty tricky.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, like that's that uncomfortable growth that we talk about, right?
Yeah.
As showing up even though you don't think you're going to succeed, doing the thing because it's the right thing to do, even though it's hard, right? Like, yeah, that's tricky, but like that's a muscle that you develop and gets easier each time. I mean, I'm glad we're recording again because it, like, not going back to how it used to be, right? Like I've said that about maybe scripts like negative scripts I've had in my head. Like, okay, I'm not going back to that guy that used to think, no, because I have too much to lose. It's like, I want to be that guy that's saying, okay, I'm not sure. Give me a minute. Because when I say that, it means I'm going through the process of saying, okay, what do I have to gain if I say yes? Not saying I have to say yes to everything, but I don't want my knee-jerk reaction to something that is maybe just intimidating, not scary or like threatening to me, but something like recording and putting it out. That's a little scary, being seen, right? And but me withdrawing from it doesn't help me grow, doesn't help me get better. And so being able to absorb the fact that it maybe didn't go as well as you had wanted or had planned, right? Like we had the best of intentions of it looking great. But again, we don't have thousands of dollars of equipment. Like, we're using the stuff that we have and it's decent and it's fine, but like we don't have like the Mel Robbins and Rich Roll. I'm pretty sure they have teams behind them setting things up, lighting, they have studios, like, I don't know. There's something about making it work with whatever you have until you can get better tools. Like, I like that. I like being scrappy when it comes to that and finding a way to make it work. And, good enough is good enough because it gets you to the next one.
Right. Yeah. I think it's important. Like you're saying, it's important to show up for that next one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If it's worth it to you.
Yeah.
Why did you show up today?
Today?
Yeah.
I showed up because I like doing our podcast and I like our conversations on the podcast. the video, I want to get better at it. I want it to get better. I want to feel more comfortable. And I knew that I could do that and we could make it better too. So I think that was part of it as well. But I think there is part of me still that is just like, oh, like this is going to sound silly, but I just sit there and I'm like, gosh, I really look like I'm in my 40s. And I really look like I haven't gotten sleep.
I didn't
Just
see
like those
that.
sort of things.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think you're being a little hypercritical and focused on something. But again, I maybe have rose-colored glasses, especially when it comes to you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
So I think I might have said this in the last podcast. But the nice thing about having done it, even though it maybe doesn't feel like it turned out the way you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
is, and I'm sure it didn't. There were so many things that I forgot to do to set us up for success that we weren't trying to wing it, but we were just getting it done, right? We were like, we're doing this and we're going to record video and we're going to do it. And we didn't know what we didn't know until after the fact. And it's like, it's too late. I can't go back and re-record it differently. I can't remember to check the white balance. Like that's so some of the things that probably come across as not looking the best is simply because I didn't do the best job either, like, so in a couple months, we'll look back and be like, that's so funny. Like, look at where we started and now
Yeah.
look at where we are, kind of
Right.
thing. So, and we'll see, like, I don't know, hopefully this is working, right? Like, I'm like, I
Yeah.
think it's still recording. Hopefully none of the batteries die or
And I could look.
a mic goes out and I won't
Yeah,
be
I
able
think
to sync
yours
it.
is recording.
Yeah, So you just do the best you can with the information and the tools you have, and I don't know, all the stuff that we talk about morning routine and taking care of ourselves, and like me when I'm like, oh, I need to journal because it helps me get out of my head, or having a conversation with you here helps me get things out that don't normally come out. That all helps mitigate those feelings that come when you're doing something that has high stakes to it. Like, you're doing it because it's worth it to you, and there are going to be stakes. But when something like a podcast recording doesn't go well, or you get paid millions of dollars to play a game for a living and you lose, guess what?
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
You had a bad night, the game didn't go the way you want, but guess what?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm watching sports, I say, yeah, the other team, they're trying to win too. Here we showed up and we're both trying to do the best we can.
Yeah.
Usually when we don't, right? That's when we like, okay, let's pause and let's, like you said, let's come back tomorrow. It's not that big a deal. Or being able to find a way to tell yourself that and save that energy, and don't burn the energy that you need for when things truly do matter. Like, somebody's sick or having a really hard time that they need you to show up for them, things like that. Anyway, I'm rambling again.
I do think there's a part as well that you show up the best you can, but you also need to, as much as you take some of the learnings from the last time, you also need to let go of what happened last time too.
Really? Do I have to?
Yes. Well, I keep thinking about like baseball too. Like, I'm sure they looked at tapes and I'm sure they prepared and learned from last time, but when they step on the field tonight, there's a level of, you have to let some of the baggage from what didn't go well the last 2 times go,
Yeah.
right?
You have to reset.
You have to reset.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. That was that. So that makes me think of getting back to zero, like Stephen Tobolowsky talked about. Remember, I've brought it up on here before. That's why I'm kind of hesitating, because I'm like, oh, how many people have heard me say it? But actors that have to redo a scene, you can't be in the moment of the end of the scene where you stopped and now you have to reshoot. You have to forget that you went through that experience, and you need to start at zero and have the same kind of emotional response that you're supposed to have without having in your head gone through it already.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's like going back up to bat again, or you got blown out the last game. Now you got to show up and do it all over again. But guess what? It's 0-0. So
Right.
it's a new game, and like you out of anybody knows that I hold on to things, especially when they're not good things.
Right.
And I'm working on it. I'm working on letting things go and finding a way to reset and to let it kind of just fade away and not, roll off of my back kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's a really important thing, is to not hold on to those things. And again, that means if I'm not going to hold on to the bad things, it's like, well, I need to not hold on to the good things as hard either. And that, I think, doesn't sound easy, but I think there's some promise in that of, when you're not as attached. This is probably getting into some wisdoms and things from different cultures, but it's like that detachment, that letting go and not holding on to things so much. That's not easy. It's an interesting concept, though, to talk about when you're in it.
Yeah. But I think it's important to let go of some of that, because whatever you're bringing with you, shame, embarrassment,
Anger.
I'm like, what are those other feelings that come when you feel like you've failed or not done something well, or haven't shown up well? Like, those things can really drag you down, right? And continue to impact you and make showing up more problematic or continued.
Downward spiral, right?
Right.
If you're focused on what didn't go well, then the next thing is not going to go well. It's easier to do that than not sometimes.
Right. So trying to notice if those are the things, at least this is helpful for me, notice like, okay, I am feeling, probably for me, I was feeling embarrassment, of how I'm showing up. And I just looked at the camera, right?
Yeah.
But like how I'm showing up on film, because I really like our dynamic when it's audio.
Yeah.
And I was finding myself judge how our dynamic looks like when we're on video.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's entirely helpful. And so there's a part where I'm like, okay, you need to do what you can to show up and feel like you're ready for this time, and to be honest and vulnerable that this is kind of how it landed for you, for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing that that's okay, but I'm not going to let it define me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a really good mindset to have coming out of that feeling. And that's all you can do. And to acknowledge the fact that it's weird what we're doing. It's
feels
easy.
weird.
It's easy to talk to you when there's not cameras or microphones going.
Yeah.
So that's why I think after we did it, and I was like, oh, that's why actors, it's a craft. Like, that's why they make money, because they can show up and pretend like they're not being filmed, and they're acting natural.
Yeah.
Like, it feels weird if you think about it too long that you're recording. And so that's another thing with like getting more reps in, is it becomes more natural, and you just start to forget about, once it's set and it's locked in place and you hit record, forget about it and just focus on the conversation. Like that's the
Right.
important part, so it's going to keep getting easier. And like I'm excited to discover again something I didn't know this time in the post-production process. Like, oh, okay, I'll think of that next time. And there's so much that I don't know that I'm pretty excited to get to learn, because like we talk about, like we both like learning things. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to brush up on these skills. I've done more editing in this last week than I've done in like a year. Like I haven't done
Cool.
much video editing in like over a year, I think. Actually, yeah, probably a year and a half. And so I'm getting back into it, and it's fun. Like that's part of the reason I was staying up late, is like, one, the work had to get done, but I was actually enjoying figuring out how to solve the little problems that were coming up, or how do I, like, oh, I coughed there.
Yeah.
And I can't have that go out. Like I have to edit around that, it's a lot easier to do when it's just audio.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Or I want to enjoy the process. I am enjoying the process, and I understand how part of that wasn't enjoyable for you.
Yes. I am uncomfortable with the process
Yeah.
right now. I think that's the best feeling I have right now, but at least I am, at least I'm committed to not let the uncomfort make me stop.
Yeah.
I'm letting it try and help me grow and get better. So, it's kind of where I'm at.
So we're talking about creative process a little bit. You're bringing in like sports metaphor.
Yeah.
And kind of the high stakes that come with, competing at a high level, and how that kind of feels like, when we're trying something new here that we haven't done before, how that feels like it's a big deal, and wanting to show up right, or wanting to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
And so the emotional labor that comes with doing something new or playing at a high level can be pretty daunting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
So it just makes me realize, okay, let's remember our tools, whether it's journaling, better sleep, talking with somebody, writing it down in your journal, right? Like that's what's
Right.
coming up for me, maybe, is like, I think we're wrapping this up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's a good reminder. It's a good reminder to, I don't know, not take it so seriously, because like I said, I was getting kind of like a weird, like head rush headache, because I was so focused and intense, and it felt like such a big deal that I was going to press send or publish, right?
Right.
And I imagine that's what it feels like if you're competing for the World Series or the Super Bowl, or or
I
the
think so.
Stanley
Right.
Cup,
That makes sense.
the US Open, right?
Yeah.
Like that's some high stakes, big stages to be on. But it doesn't have to feel like so crushing, I don't think. And
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said about how you play the game, right? But there's also a big part of me that's always a little impressed with when I see a team or athletes who don't succeed, and how they handle that and bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over the last several years, seeing people take it more seriously, how it feels, or how they can say that, okay, this isn't going well, so I'm going to pull myself out of competition, or I'm going to make sure that I have somebody that is supporting me on my team, right? Like these, even like single person like athletes, I don't know what you call that. You know, like a singles tennis player, right?
Oh, okay.
They have teams. You know, they have support staff and stuff like that. So it's just reminding me, like, hopefully, maybe you didn't do it so much here, but I'm hopefully, like, you realize, like, I'm on your team. And like, if you're having those thoughts of like, oh, I don't think that looks so great and I'm not super happy with it, like,
Yeah.
tell me about it. Like, at least text me and say you're having those thoughts. And then I can be like, oh, well, we can get on and talk about this, you know, like, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's what we did here, right? A little
Yeah.
bit.
Tried to
So,
unpack it.
yeah, because that, I think, is my biggest takeaway, is it's so much easier to deal with, maybe whether it's disappointment or success,
Mm-hmm.
with somebody else. It's fun sharing success, and it's fun having someone to lean on when maybe it didn't go so well. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to say or add, but that's just kind of what comes up for me when I'm thinking about, you know, I want to not get too low and not get too high. And it's a lot easier to do when you go together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. And I think the more we do it, the easier it will become. And hopefully I'll get more used to it.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully I will. I've been putting some things on TikTok and on social media a little more, and at first it was terrifying, and I'm a little more used to it, but I do feel like I have a little bit more control over what gets put out there.
You want to start editing the podcast?
I don't.
You can totally do it.
I don't want to start editing the
I'll just be the
podcast.
talent that shows up and hits his marks.
No, I don't want to do that, but I would say, like, there's some pieces that I think will make things better. Like me not looking at the camera all the time.
That's true. Yeah.
I didn't even do it, but it's gonna look like I did. I'm like,
It's okay.
right?
Yeah, just don't worry about it so much. But yeah, definitely don't stare down the barrel of the lens. It's always a helpful thing, unless it's called for. It's called breaking the fourth wall.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew that.
Did not know that.
But yeah, it's like this.
Like what? Like this?
You stare right at the camera. Yeah, yeah. That's going to be very unsettling when I go to edit.
I'm sure you're gonna be like, oh no.
It's gonna be the thumbnail, probably us just staring.
No, don't do that to me. You might not get a third episode on me with video.
All right, fair enough. All right, should we wrap up?
I think we should.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's get out here.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.